Hi guys. So I wanted to resume. Oh yeah, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I wanted to finish this long pending video on female friendships, and ஏதோ ரீசன் மாறி மாறி தள்ளி போயிட்டு வந்திருக்கு. By the way, how do you like the new space? I hope you like it. Anyway, so let's dive in. So recently I cut off someone who has been there in my life for the last like 7 to 8 years, or correct 8 years, yeah. And that just taught me how girlhood becomes a little lonely after a particular point of time, and அந்த லோன்லினஸை காம்பன்சேட் பண்ணுறதுக்காக you hang on to fragments of your past who don't make you feel like no other woman gets you. And I think that is one major reason I kept holding on to this one person. But let's also talk about how our morals change, but we again don't give up on it. With a beautiful example on that, I don't know how many of you have watched Little Things, Dhruv and I forgot her name, அவங்களோட ஒரு ஷோ. அதில் வந்து என்ன ஆகுனா, there's this guy who talks very differently of LGBTQA, and ஏதோ நான் வந்து ஒரு மாதிரி ஒரு casteist remarks எல்லாம் கொடுப்பான். And the female character, she kind of tells him that as you grow you go back home, and these are the people who feel like home னு சொல்லிட்டு அதை வந்து அந்த ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் அப்படி தான் இருக்கும். He is not outgrown it, whereas you have. That doesn't mean you don't vibe well againங்கிற மாதிரி she gives a very beautiful closure. When I saw it, it felt like a nice closure, but when I experienced it, it's not that easy. What I realized is, if my morals, my ethics, my way of my belief system, அதோட கோரை ஷேக் பண்ணுற மாதிரி, if there is a difference, I don't see a point in hanging on or telling that, oh, this is where you go back and you feel home, because I have outgrown that very home because of the same reasons. So that happened, and this particular person oda and the whole friendship arc was beautiful. Like, it was one of the most powerful friendships I've ever had. But I also realized we both brought in the worst of each other. My friend group, apart from her, thought I didn't have any boundaries with her, and her friend groups from the other side did think that I brought in the worst out of her. And I guess somewhere we both did that, and it kind of, there was no big fight. There was not one big fight. It was slow. It was very meaningful, the departure. It was not ugly, because I came to a point where I was like, I see you. I have always seen you. The way you saw life, you saw relationships, you saw people in general. I accommodated it because of how much I loved you. But somewhere it was affecting me, and I still kept quiet because I loved this person. But in my case at least, it stopped reciprocating because our morals were different. As simple as, I don't have என்னோடய ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் குரூப்பில் இப்போ இருக்கிறவங்க, if I tell them that, hey, I matched with that guy 3 years ago, he is out of their list. Basic girl code, okay. I don't know if it's universal, but whoever I have in my life right now work like that. Their minds work like that. Like, even if you had like a tiny bit of connection, they're off their list. We will not make the girl uncomfortable to accommodate a man or a man's wants or whatever that is. That changed. I heard something like, oh, he was not your ex, so I am fine with going ahead with that guy. So that was like a big deal breaker, like a moral deal breaker it's very equal to how in a relationship if someone cheated on me I will be like bye bye. Yeah, same with friendships. If you're going to cross that moral line with me, I'm out of your life, but good luck to you, because I cannot go on with that feeling. Now let's talk about I told you how it happened, right? It was very slow, drafted. But what surprised me was how calm I was. I've lost friendships like a lot as we grow. And I've also become very strong and I know what I want. I came across this Chanel bag theory, right? Like I might not be a Chanel bag in a relationship or as any role, but in friendships, I am a damn Chanel bag. Like if I consider you as my friend and you picked me, you saw my worth. That's that till the end of the world. That's it. I would go to any extent just for you. Anna, I've also stopped doing that when I see that it's not reciprocated. அது வந்து it's a hot take there, because sometimes it's like, oh, what if it's, I can't see things as transactional. எனக்கு அதை பண்ணாதான் நான் பண்ணுவேன்லாம் கிடையாது. It's not about doing things, but it's about feeling feelings. If you don't feel the way I feel for you, I think feelings are transactional here. If I wouldn't hurt you that way and you hurt me that way, I don't see a point in staying with you or fixing the relationship or friendship. So that came up in my mind. So yeah, the Chanel bag theory, I don't want to let you hanging. So it's basically something like a Chanel bag just exists in a store. Thousands of people see it and only one person can buy it. Not everyone can afford. It's a materialistic comparison, but you get the point, right? So that happened. And while I've outgrown friendships, there is not one friendship that I have lost that was genuinely meaningful. It would have been really long. It has been really like they would have seen me as a child, as a teenager, and as a young adult, but they did not make it to my post 25s, because I seriously believe that at 25 my brain was fully developed and I had dealt with all major heartbreaks, all types of heartbreaks, be it friendship, be it relationship, be it parental, be it sibling coded, office, whatever. I had a good experience in being very selective about choosing my circle, and my realization was also that sometimes the circle chooses you. I don't have one big gang of friends, okay? I have genuinely yearned for it, like I have as a child, as a college student, but as an adult, no, I do not want to be a part of a big group who can't like each other for who they are, and there is subgroups of discussions. Not my jam. So I have individual friendships as an adult which are like very beautiful, Of course you all know Priyanka, and whenever we both have had a fallout, it has been so mature from her end. It's never, oh my, how you did that, remember, I've never dealt with an accusatory tone, and I think I learned it from her, that it is very important to tell how you feel the way you feel. Like if you're feeling sad, say it in a sad way. If you're feeling angry, say it in an angry way. That is different. But so the friendships that I have right now, they are all individual. Like I hang out with individual people. Sometimes group mix up happens, but those individual friendships, they really know me for who I am, and we don't have big differences. For recent time the election vandapolla there was differences, and I used to be someone who was not able to accommodate differences. During school I had people who were my friends who would be like me. நாங்கள் குரூப்பாக ஒரு விஷயத்துக்கு தான் சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுவோம். ஆனால் when you're adult, they grew up in an entire different agenda, ideology, and then I come up here with an entirely different thing, and I learned to accommodate it. And this was just one example. Anna, there is also a line where I want to draw that. Okay, like someone can be a huge fan of a film critic, but if he's making fun of Epstein files, I want both of us to call him out. But if you have a different political leader's ideology as your preference, I can accommodate that. You get what I'm saying? So I had a realization, a very real realization about how adult friendships work. And I've also realized that sometimes you end up in a very emotional setup. I've ended up in equations. I wouldn't even call it friendship. In equations where I am not emotionally there. I see you as an acquaintance, I see you as a colleague, but you are seeing me as a friend and expecting me to do friend things. I've not gone there because of how much I value friendship. I have these layers and layers and layers of walls that I've built for me to call someone a friend, because if I'm calling you my friend, as I told, I would take a bullet for you. I would. So if I'm going to take a bullet, I have to make sure you wouldn't actually shoot at me, you know. வேறு யார்கிட்ட இருந்து வந்தால் எனக்கு ஓகே, புரியுதா? நான் வந்து உங்களுக்காக உயிரை கொடுப்பேன்னா வேறு யாரும் என்னை சாவடிக்க வரும்போது, உங்களை சாவடிக்க வரும்போது நான் நடுவில் வந்து நிற்பேன். அதுக்கான அர்த்தம் நீங்களே என்னை சாவடித்தா நான் சாவேன்னு நான் சொல்லலை. When I say I would take a bullet for you, I don't mean you have the power to fucking kill me. I meant I would take a bullet if it is directed at you in a protective way. But again, if you're going to, if you need a kidney, I'll give one. If you need a heart, I'll give one. All that is different. But betrayal, I won't take that. And betrayal is not just backstabbing. Betrayal is also not matching your morals, not growing up with you to accommodate your ideologies, your feelings. Adilladappo, I don't see a friendship. Like, I know we all talk a lot about how relationships go, you know, both people, the guy also has to put in effort, the girl also has to put in effort. But if there's any relationship I would continuously pour into, those are my girl friendships. And even after pouring, when I lose them, this was also weird. Like the last friendship that I fully ended after 7 to 8 years, absolutely zero regrets, zero feelings, zero sadness. I told my therapist that I've not yet dealt with it fully. Like நான் இன்னும் அதை வந்து ப்ராசஸ் பண்ணல, இன்டேக் பண்ணல அப்படின்னு. ஆனால் இப்போ யோசிச்சு பார்த்தா நான் இதை எப்போயிருந்தோ பார்த்துட்டு தான் இருந்திருக்கேன். லைக் our morals didn't match. You saying things like I would date guys only with a car. You saying things like you know, why should I be loyal when men would eventually cheat. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி எக்ஸ்கியூசஸ் கொடுத்தப்போ நான் கூட இருந்திருக்கேன். லைக் நான் கூட இருந்து ஆமாம் பரவாயில்ல, ஏன்னா நம்ம தான் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப்னு வந்துட்டா அவங்க வந்து யூனோ this I used to share this memes, you know, if my friend kills someone, I would what is that, help them put the dead body and all. I would not do that if you're doing all that with a married man. You know what I mean? There's a line. If you're dating someone and he's doing something bad to you and then you're killing him, I'm in with you. I would even go to jail for you. But if you're doing all that with a married guy and affecting an entirely whole different family, you think you have this queen bee syndrome, that's not my place to tell you that I will support you no matter what. And I remember making these jokes like, you know, if my best friend is dating 5 guys, I have 5 brother-in-laws. I did that because I was just in love with this friend. Like I loved her so much that I oversaw everything, but I've realized love is conditional. I think that would be my next video on. I want to find the diary where I wrote about why I think love is conditional, and I think you guys would love it. So yeah, I think friendship is very, 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 very transactional, and it's about transaction of feelings, and we need to be very careful about, I mean, முன்னாடியே முடியாது. Like why would you, people don't have trailers, you just have to live the movie with them, and then you decide if it's worth it or not. So yeah, I also realized that number of years doesn't matter. I hate how collectively as a society we don't give importance to the women who walk in when you're 20 something in a new city, hunting houses, settling in, and there's this one girl who keeps asking you, did you eat, send me the picture of your room, did you ready, is your, did you set up your room, send me pictures and updates like that. I just hope you find that one true girl friend who will confront you when you're doing wrong things, who will appreciate you when you do the least good thing, uh, who can tell you what it is, and there is no ego in place. I remember once I got defensive with Priyanka. Okayva, avedo complaint solrana. I was acting like a man. I was like, but, and then how she dealt it. I think this is the key takeaway. Priyanka said, let's not defend ourselves. This is the place where I love when people say us and we, because you're assuring me that I'm not blaming you. What would I do without Priyanka is the question here. A lot of people, but right out of the mind, her name came out. But yeah, crazy. I do hope you all understand that having a big girl gang is fun and cool, but I personally believe depth comes in when there's like a one-on-one relationship, and two people who can water each other and they just grow. There is no ego, there is no competition. You're just genuinely happy for their wins. See you in the next video where I talk about unconditional love. Is not love is not conditional is what I'm aiming to say, though unconditional love sounds very filmy, cute and all. I don't think it exists, and you'll know why in the next video.